So we've reached the section on nafaqah, support. Let's read the bare text of Abu Shuja first, and then we'll see what the explainer has for us. So Shaykh Abu Shuja says, فصل ونفقة العمودين من الأهل واجبة للوالدين والمولودين. Section. The support, we'll see if we'll adjust the words later. The support of the ancestor and the descendant from the family is obligatory for the parents and for the children. So parents includes grandparents and above, children and grandchildren and below. We'll see. فأما الوالدون, as for the parents, فتجب نفقتهم بشرطين. Their support is due, is obligatory by two conditions. الفقر والزمانة أو الفقر والجنون. Poverty and lasting handicap, or poverty and insanity. That's what Abu Shuja says. وَأَمَّا الْمَوْلُودُونَ, as for the born ones, the children, then al-walidun, the parents, those are the birthers. And the mawludun are the born ones, the children. فَتَجِبُ نَفَقَتُهُمْ بِثَلَاثَةِ شَرَائِطٍ. Their support is obligatory under three conditions. According to Abu Shuja, all of this, الفقر والصغر أو الفقر والزمانة أو الفقر والجنون. Poverty and prepubescence, or poverty and lasting handicap, or poverty and insanity. Abu Shuja, he still has more to say, but let's read the explanation first. The explainer, rahimahullah, says, فصل في أحكام نفقة الأقارب. Section about the rules for supporting the relatives. وفي بعض نسخ المتن تأخير هذا الفصل عن الذي بعده. In some copies of the text, this section is delayed until after what is after it here. That's amongst what the explainers do. They draw your attention to differences in the text, different copies, nusakh of the text. وَالنَّفَقَةُ مَأْخُوذَةٌ مِنَ الْإِنفَاقِ. The word nafaqah, that's what we've been translating as support, is taken from al-infaq, that usually translates as spending. وَهُوَ الْإِخْرَاج. That means putting out. وَلَا يُسْتَعْمَلُ إِلَّا فِي الْخَيْرِ. And this word is only used for good. Yani, you don't say nafaqah for what is bad. وَلِلنَّفَقَةِ أَسْبَابٌ ثَلَاثَةٌ. And support has three reasons. القرابة وملك اليمين والزوجية. Kinship, blood relation. Ownership and matrimony. وذكر المصنف سبب الأول. Then, and the author, he mentioned the first reason في قوله, when he said, وَنَفَقَةُ الْعَمُودَيْنِ مِنَ الْأَهْلِ واجبة للوالدين والمولودين. The support, he said, the support of the ancestors and the descendants, the two pillars from the family, is obligatory for the birthers, the parents, and the born ones, the children. أي ذكورا كانوا أم إناثا, meaning whether male or female. اتفقوا في الدين أو اختلفوا فيه. If they have the same religion or they differ in religion. Oh. This, I don't know. If they have the same religion or they differ in religion. واجبة على أولادهم. That I don't know. What I know, that's not obligatory on the Muslim to spend to support his kafir parent who is not dhimmi, who's not dhimmi. You might have a kafir parent who's the dhimmi, that means a non-Muslim citizen of the caliphate. Then he supports this one under the conditions we know. So if it's not that kind, then it's not obligatory on him. That's what I've learned. فَأَمَّا الْوَالِدُونَ. So as for the birthers, وَإِنْ عَلَوْا, even if they are high, the grand ones, فَتَجِبُ نَفَقَتُهُمْ بِشَرْطَيْنِ. Abu Shuja said, supporting them is obligatory by two conditions. Al-faqru lahum, for them to be poor. وَهُوَ عَدَمُ قُدْرَتِهِمْ عَلَى مَالٍ أَوْ كَسْبٍ. He says they're being poor. The explainer says they're being poor is the lack of their ability to get money or to earn money. They can't get money, they can't find a job, and they can't hustle. وَالزَّمَانَةِ, and the lasting handicap means he can't work, can't support himself. He's poor, and he's sick or handicapped in some way, or disabled in some way. أو الفقر والجنون, or poverty and insanity. He's talking about when it's obligatory to support the parents. If you've learned the obligatory knowledge, you might notice that's not exactly like how we learned it. والزمانة هي مصدر الزم هو والزمانة هي مصدر زمن الرجل زمانة. So zamana is a source noun. Its past tense verb is zamina. Like if you were to say zamina الرجل. زمانة إذا حصل له آفة. That's what you would say if he acquired some disability or sickness. فإن قدروا على مال أو كسب لم تجب نفقتهم. If they are able to get money or to earn money, then it's not obligatory to support them. That's what this explainer says. What we learned is that it's just enough for the Muslim parent to be poor. or the parent that you're obligated to support. It's enough for them to be poor. The extra details that are put here, according to what we learned, according to what the Sheikh says, those are not conditions. Meaning, even if he can or she can earn money, it's still obligatory on the children to support the parents. What I learned is that that's a shared obligation between the siblings. وَأَمَّا الْمَوْلُودُونَ, as for the born ones, وَإِن سَفَلُوا, even if they went low, yani the grand ones, the grandchildren, فَتَجِبُ نَفَقَتُهُمْ عَلَى الْوَالِدَيْنِ, I think this is supposed to be walidin. على الوالدين بثلاثة شرائط. Their support is obligatory on the birthers, that's the fathers in particular. By 3 conditions. But walid, when we say al-walidan, that's the mother and the father. Al-ab wal-um. This word here, al-walidan, it's not what's in the metzim. It means al-ab wal-um. So it's not really a muthanna. It's not a true muthanna dual. It's not a true dual. The word that's here is al-walidun. That's a plural. Singular of walidun is walid. The walid is the father. But when you say al-walidun, the word itself, it can include the mothers. This plural. But in singular form, the mother is walida. Walida is the mother. You can say that. Yeah, walidati. Oh, mother of mine. And the walid is the ab. He says, فَتَجِبُ نَفَقَتُهُمْ عَلَى الْوَالِدِينَ, it's obligatory, their support is obligatory on the fathers by 3 conditions. أحدها الفقر والصغر. One of them is poverty and prepubescence. صغر يعني youth, childhood. فالغني الكبير لا تجب نفقته. He says, the explainer says, the rich adult child, it's not obligatory to support him. But also, the rich prepubescent child, it's not obligatory to support him. This is 2 different things here. The poverty and the prepubescence. It's not the mere prepubescence that makes it obligatory on the father to support the child. The prepubescence with the poverty. Poverty here means he doesn't have his own money. So, therefore, if your child had his own money, it's permissible for you to spend your child's money on the child. Or else it's going to be obligatory on you, O father, to spend your own money on the child. He says, أَوِ الْفَقْرُ وَالزَّمَانَةِ, or poverty and lasting disability. فَالْغَنِيُّ الْقَوِيُّ لَا تَجِبُ نَفَقَتُهُ. The explainer says, therefore, the wealthy, strong one, he means healthy one, sound one. Yani as-salim. Here, this qawi means salim, sound. لا تجب نفقته. It's not obligatory to support him. But also, if he's ghani, but he is disabled, you still don't have to support him. He can spend his own money on him, or he can spend his own money on himself. He says, "Oh, الفقر والجنون," or poverty and insanity. And you could sense that these last two can be summarized together. It's the same meaning. He's disabled. فالغني العاقل لا تجب نفقته. So the rich, sane one, rich here doesn't mean, yani rich just means he can support himself. لا تجب نفقته. It's not obligatory to support him. Any questions so far? Okay. Let's go back to Abu Shuja's text, and then we'll read the explanation again. So he says, just in the bare text, rahimahullah, وَنَفَقَةُ الرَّقِيقِ وَالْبَهَائِمِ وَاجِبَةٌ. And the support of the slave and the animals is obligatory. That's one thing, their support. Then he says another thing. وَلَا يُكَلَّفُونَ مِنَ الْعَمَلِ مَا لَا يُطِيقُونَ. And they are not charged. They are not to be charged. As if he is saying, do not charge them of work more than they can bear. As if that's a declarative statement that has the meaning of a prohibition. Okay. Then he addresses another topic. وَنَفَقَةُ الزَّوْجَةِ الْمُمَكِّنَةِ مِنْ نَفْسِهَا وَاجِبَةٌ. And the support of the wife who grants access to herself is obligatory. وَهِيَ مُقَدَّرَةٌ. And that support, in particular, the support of the wife, is measured. فَإِنْ كَانَ الزَّوْجُ مُوسِرًا فَمُدَّانِ مِنْ غَالِبِ قُوتِهَا. If the husband were wealthy, then he's on good time, and he's in good times, musir, then 2 muds, 2 bowls, 2 hands cupped together like a bowl, 2 average hands of a man, average sized hands of a man cupped together like a bowl. So I'm going to say bowl. 2 bowls of the dominant nutrition of the town. And then he has more. It's going to be on the next page, though. So he didn't finish talking here about the support of the wife. Let's wait and see. So now the explainer wants to explain about supporting slaves and animals. وذكر المصنف يقول السبب الثاني. The author then mentioned the second reason why support is obligatory. As he said, there are 3 reasons: kinship, ownership, and matrimony. Now he's on the second one, ownership. في قوله ونفقة الرقيق والبهائم واجبة. When he said the support of the slave and the animals is obligatory. فمن ملك رقيقا عبدا أو أمة أو مدبرا أو ولد أو بهيمة وجب عليه نفقته. So anyone who owned a slave, a male slave, an abid, a serf, or a slave woman, an amah, or even a slave whose freedom is dependent on his master's death, There's a condition. Or the mother of a child. Or if someone owns an animal, it's obligatory on him to support any one of those kinds. فَيُطْعِمُ رَقِيقَهُ مِنْ غَالِبِ قُوتِ أَهْلِ الْبَلَدِ. Thus, he feeds his slave with the dominant staple, with the dominant staple of the people of the town. Zakat applicable staple. Though there's a detail there, but let's just say zakat applicable staple. وَمِنْ غَالِبِ أُدْمِهِمْ بِقَدْرِ الْكِفَايَةِ. And also, he has to feed his slave, according to the explainer, the usual condiment. The usual condiment, according to what's enough? Enough of it. بِقَدْرِ الْكِفَايَةِ. وَيَكْسُوهُ مِنْ غَالِبِ كِسْوَتِهِمْ. And he clothes his slave with the normal or dominant clothing of a slave, though. And same thing for the food. What's the obligation of the slave owner? To feed his slave the normal food of the slaves. And to clothe him with the normal clothing of the slaves. Though I don't see here that the explainer mentioned that point of the slaves. That's the minimum obligation. As for the sunnah, though, it is to support your slave like you support yourself. So the sunnah is for you to dress your slave as you would dress, and to feed your slave like you would eat, and to lodge your slave like you'd lodge yourself. SubhanAllah. ولا يكفي في كسوة رقيقه ستر العورة فقط. And it's not enough when it comes to dressing his slave to only cover his awrah. Like just to give him an izar only, that's not enough. ولا يكلفون من العمل ما لا يطيقون. And they are not charged of work what they cannot bear. فإذا استعمل المالك رقيقه نهارا أراحه ليلا وعكسه. Therefore, if the owner used his slave during the day, he gives him a break for the night. And vice versa. ويريحه صيفا وقت القيلولة. And in the summer, he gives him a break at nap time, siesta time. He gives him a break at siesta time. Yani that's around noon. ولا يكلف دابته أيضا ما لا تطيق حمله. And he does not charge his beast also with what it cannot bear to carry. Okay. You tell me, should we stop here and save the talk about the support of the wife for next time? Or should we go for 20 more minutes, inshallah?
Whatever you want, Sheikh.
Okay. Maybe that's enough information.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Any question?